So that works too. Now, the spray bottle. I really like using a spray bottle with this kind of nozzle. It's from a window cleaning product. You just need to pick a good sprayer and use it. It's convenient. So today we'll also need a scale sketch, right? Why? Because here's what we're going to do. I have a certain amount of materials that I measured out for today's work. And at the end of each stage, for example, we'll make a hat and then we'll measure how much material we have left. In the same way, later, we'll make the mitts and see how much material we have left over. This way, it'll be easy for you to understand how much material you're actually using. Well, you know, it's also an extra way to keep yourself a little bit in check. So this brush is used for, if you don't have it, you don't need to buy it. It's not necessary, but if you do have it, what is it convenient for? When we're working with materials that aren't entirely familiar to yuans, you're not sure will felt properly or not, some kind of dense synthetic, then before you start working with it, it's really helpful to punch it a little bit on this method. With this device, you can make any fabric synthetic or perforated. And thanks to that, the wool will pass through more easily, making it easier for you to felt them together, no matter what material they're made of, even if it's some kind of brocade or metallic fabric. So, thanks to this, it will felt in any case. That's it. So today I'll show you the molds that I use in my work. Of course, not everyone can buy professional molds. And I have to say, it's not always necessary either. If you're not doing this as a professional who positions themselves as a hat seller, then for home use, honestly, there's really no need to buy a mold that will cost money and has to be specially ordered. So how did I get around this situation? Well, I have two of these things. So what do you think this is?
Looks like the flower pot. That's what it seems like to me.
They're flower pots. Absolutely. So honestly, it was quite a circus when I was buying them because I had to find a flower pot that matched the diameter of my head.
So you were trying them on.
I was trying them on, and the flower pot that fit me, I just took it. This one is a kid's flower pot. Well, a kid's mannequin head, and this is an adult mannequin head. After that, I took sculpting clay and made a cup, right? So here you can make it bigger or smaller, however you like, because flower pots are usually more streamlined, more pointed, right? And we need a more streamlined shape. That's why I use this sculpting clay to form the
Spectacular.
Yes. So I made the mannequin head that I needed, and I covered it with plastic wrap on top so that we could put our pieces on it. That's it. So with this simple method, you can make as many mannequin heads as you want, and you'll always have them in your toolkit. Another handy life hack you use in your work is the color wheel. Of course, it's an indispensable tool when you want to combine different colors and make sure your piece looks harmonious. I'll tell you later. When we discuss materials, how to use it, it's an essential item. Make sure you buy one. And of course, how could you do without gloves? I use several types of gloves, and right now these are vinyl ones. There are also nitrile gloves, which are very convenient. Buy them. You should have them because they do a good job of protecting your hands, right? Your hands won't get wet in a harsh environment, and they're thin, so you'll be able to feel the felt. A measuring tape, obviously, how could you do without it? And scissors. Buy good sharp scissors, because if you work with fabrics or sequins, dull scissors simply won't cut anything, and you'll just struggle. Besides that, of course, marginal silk gauze also can't be cut with dull scissors. They need to be sharp, very sharp, really good ones. This is something you absolutely need for your work. What materials will we be using in our work? Today I've prepared Italian 16 micron merino wool. The color is called Night. Well, I think it will give me the quality of felt I need, and it will have a nice, beautiful texture together with the additional decorative fabrics I've prepared. And I also took Italian viscose, I don't remember the color, well, probably something darker. I remember the color is called tar red. So we have 100 grams of viscose and 100 grams of wool. I'm sure that this amount will be enough for both the head and the mittens. But as I said, we'll measure exactly how much we need at the end of each item. Besides that, I've prepared some fabrics. So what's important when you work with fabrics that have sequins is a very important condition. The fabric must be, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Please take a look. It should be mesh, because there are a lot of sequin fabrics in stores. And what's really important here is the type of base. It should be a mesh so that the wool can easily pass through.
Are there ones that aren't mesh?
Sometimes there is a very dense fabric on the back through which no wool will go at all, and it will just stand stiff on the piece, and that's it. So the sequins should be as flexible as possible, like these. And the backing should be as loose and mesh-like as possible. Now, as for the quality of the sequins themselves, here, of course, the selection is huge, practically unlimited. But look, I really like these double-sided sequins, the kind that can flip in any direction, and they look really striking on a finished piece. In addition to that, I also picked up some mesh. Well, this kind of fabric also looks great, and I'll show you where you can use it so that it really stands out and looks vibrant. And today we also have this kind of fabricids, a knit, which really needs to be punched with a needle because, you know, it's sort of felt, but if you're a beginner, you might have some trouble with it. So it's better to punch it a little with a needle to make it easier to work with. Well, let me show you something else now.